Hey, it's Joe Glines, my automator. Another episode of what we automated this week with AutoHotkey. Let me share my screen and use, wrong hotkey. Use Prompt Assistant to run recently modified files, which again kicks off a bunch of other stuff too. It's going to change my DPI in this monitor, which is that DPI script is really handy. You can see now the text is much bigger here. Launch my webcam reminder, turn on Do Not Disturb, because there's a lot of things I forget, right? Looks like I still gotta adjust that webcam reminder. That helps me remember that you can't see what's to the right of my mouse here, but I can see it. I know that's weird to you, but yeah, now we're looking at files. Again, we did a lot of, we're launching a new project for our client, and so Irvian and Isaiah have been spending a lot of time in that. Let's get into, let's see, Joji, find program IDs. I was trying, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out how to capture syntax errors from AutoHotkey when you're in an IDE or editor trying to launch it. Because we have a really cool tool, which I'll show in a minute, using capturing runtime errors, and it helps a lot if you're using AI. This helps you a lot. It speeds up things. But the syntax errors, we did get a solution, but it's just really complicated, and I don't love it. So maybe at some point we'll revisit it, but for now, we did launch our other tool, ZAI. I don't know what. Oh, I think I was playing with a new. Oh, that's great. Oh, my API key there. Awesome. I get to blur that out here. We'll click off of that. That is a new API tool that I think actually we have in, which I'll get to here in a bit. I'll show an example of using the OpenRouter one, which allows us to connect like 300 models. Claude, we were showing how to use our Claude library. Apparently someone made some... Oh, that's right. We actually started off the week having errors with one of our clients, Danny, and we had a bug in our Claude. It wasn't a bug. It was just that they had removed one of the models that was no longer available. We were using that model to confirm that we were actually connecting to Claude properly. So we changed it to where we, A, actively get all of the current models, and B, we don't let it have an error if they suddenly sunset one of their models like Claude did. So we fixed that. Our AR with OCR tool, we had to go update that. We had to update a couple of our AI tools. There were really, I think, two. The Claude library, of course, the AI OCR tool, and the Transcribe and Summarize, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we went through those. And that was just a choice that we had made to first verify that we were authenticating properly, and we happened to pick a model that got sunsetted. And so now, Claude didn't at the time have a way to use the API to pull active models, but they've changed that. So now we have a way we won't have to worry about it because we first pull a list without having to authenticate, pull a list of active models, and then we use that model to confirm we're authenticated. So error capture, this is the new one I was mentioning. I have a little, it's in my system tray right now, but let me open this folder, and I think in here, I have there's a runtime error. Yeah, so this one, let me go ahead and edit this script. Now, when I run it, this obviously, oh, that's not, well, here's a curly brace. Oh, and I gotta move this guy a little so I can click my run button. Now, that actually is a syntax error. It's the file's misnamed. Let's, that's what this down here, the standard out, this error, capturing this, that is really difficult. Even though you would think it's not too hard with AutoHotkey but VS Code doesn't allow you to easily access this, and even then you have to tie it back to that script. We did have a solution, but let me do this. I'm going to change this to say message box. Save this and run it. Now, see, this says error is logged and copied to the clipboard. That is what we're automating. Let me just use this tool, this thing to paste. So we copy this automatically. You no longer have to come in here, select it, copy it, then go to your AI tool and paste. We automatically push it to the clipboard for you. And that's what's really cool about this tool, is it works in any AI editor or anything, right? But normally when a lot of people are doing this, they're going back to AI and saying, here's my error. So we've automated capturing it. We were thinking about like maybe clicking exit app, right, or abort or something, because that also gets tedious. But yeah, very, very cool. Works with anything you're doing because there's no AI in it, right? It's just a simple AutoHotkey script that we watch for certain errors using shell hooks, if I remember correctly. And we have a little more work to do on it, to even with just the runtime errors, because it's I want to be able to replace some of the other more common ones and possibly link, like we could put a link to documentation on how to fix certain things. But yeah, we did release this one on Friday, I think, and it saves me a ton of time. I make sure I have it running whenever I'm using AI to debug stuff. We changed the name, I think, from Error Capture. Error Assist is a different tool which used AI, but yeah, we're not doing that now. This smart file search during with a hero call. Oh no, this is the smart file search. Sorry. So yeah, this is, and it's still not done. I did prove the concept. So I think if AI is the ultimate fuzzy match, so let me, I hard coded it to a folder. We can choose a different folder. We can make it recursive or not. It's telling us 385 files. I'm going to say filter on prompt. This is my prompt. That list of files gets pushed to AI. It matched 18 files for me. So you can see, oh, that's interesting, like consultants. So this is why I love Data Cowboy. I love AI's conceptual matching, right? So I think this is going to be huge. This is going to save people so much time. And then you can, we also have where you can select all, select none. What we're going to have, though, is after here is you would hit copy or move or something or rename, and it allows you to get that list and filter on them to select them, right? So AI built this tool for me to push that list up to, I think, Claude, and then return it back filtered of the ones that match the criteria. I just think that's freaking amazing. That's going to be really cool. Calling, transcribe, and summarize. So we did, in the hero call, we demonstrated adding the ability to process command line parameters. So now, which is really cool. So this is the transcribe and summarize. No, I haven't added that. There's the calling one, so I could run this. I'm going to launch this, and I think I hard-coded it for just to start with Control-T. I'm going to bring up a list of videos here. And so here's our Saturday call. Now, if I hit Control-T, this shows me the list of our prompts that I can choose, and I'm going to choose Home Energy Management, just to demonstrate, because I haven't used that one in a while. So that is what's selecting this prompt. So it's very cool. We pass both the file and that prompt to this tool, so it automatically goes and does that, and it transcribes it and summarizes. That's a really cool tool. But we built we added the ability to accept command line parameters within that tool, and then we made a little miniature tool to call it. It's hard-coded with that Control-T, but this is more of an idea to help people understand how to use it, right? But yeah, the whole idea, we did and I did an extraction from it in the hero call, so you can check out the overall concept. We also updated our Effortless video reducer. I haven't shared that version yet, though, to accept command line parameters, because I want to add some more parameters to it. But for now, I use it every day, and now I can go in here, select. This is how, like, these PRC versions, which there's already one here, so I would start to overwrite that. So I'm going to pick a different one. Let's just rename one of these. Now, in Prompt Assistant, I have a hotkey Control-Shift-F, which brings up my FFmpeg menu, and I'm going to say process through FFmpeg through EVR. Now, it's going to grab that file and push it. It launches this tool and pushes it to it, and it starts on, and here you see old in the file name. It's going to generate this new file. So again, I don't have to go open the tool, then come back here and drag it. I basically have a hotkey that lets me call it, and I could, like I said, I have a hotkey that says Control-Shift-F and select it. I could tie a hotkey to this and not have to pull up the menu and choose, right? So really, really great time saver when you have things that you want exactly what to happen. Usually you have a GUI, because if I want to launch Effortless Video Reducer, in this tool, we got, what is that, maybe 6 drop-down with options, and it's nice having that flexibility, but honestly, I use this tool with these settings almost all the time because it gives good enough quality, but the file size is usually like 10% or so, 12% of what the original file was, and it's just phenomenal. But you can change the speed. So this might be some parameters we pass. The encoding could be a parameter. The quality could be a parameter. I don't know the resolution. We could make it, right? But that's where it just gets back to, it's like, wow, that's a lot of options. This is the audio quality, which also, 32-bit for human voice is acceptable. It's a little tinny, but it's fine, and it shrinks the file size. I don't think I would make this one. I think we would just leave that hard-coded and not have you... We'd have to have an edit box where you type in your new thing you want to append to it. But yeah, very, very cool concept overall, and we're going to start working with that, building it into our tools. Here's some examples of doing that. Audio capture, I'm not going to launch this, but Isaias demonstrated using the Windows RT, Windows Runtime environment for, we don't even need FFmpeg anymore to capture the audio. So he's using built-in Windows tools to capture and save audio, and there's hundreds of these different models that you can use that Windows has that through that Windows Runtime environment that'll make it really fascinating. So we did do an extract on that. I'll release that hopefully in the coming weeks, and but it's just the beginning, because in that example he did it on the capturing audio, but there's so many interesting things. I actually made a post. I'll try to remember to put the link up here on the post of the Automator, where I just said, here are some other ones that I was interested in, different methods and objects that you can call, which are just phenomenal. Like, it's going to really open up so many doors for us. Getting Explorer, yeah, that's a great function to programmatically get the selected files in Explorer. We did some updating for our Mailgun. Now I track, I have a record. Mailgun gives me a lot. It's an API tool that we use to send our newsletter and all of our emails, but we send our newsletter predominantly. That's like 5,500 emails per week that we send. Well, Mailgun lets us track the open and clicks, but it only keeps a history for 5 days. I have to pay a lot more money per month in order to have a longer window. Because it's a lot of storage, and it does balloon up. When I used to work at TI, we would send over 1 million emails a month. The amount of opens and clicks, because it's for every person, there's like, oh, I clicked this 10 times. That's 10 rows you'd have in your data, right? It becomes huge. So I get their point about the cost. But what we did, Isaias did in about an hour, we already had an API for connecting to Mailgun. So now we programmatically go read the data, check to see if a given email address is in there. If it's newer, we compare it to what we have in our file and add that they opened or clicked on a certain date. And what that's going to allow us to do is, after, let's say, like 2 months, maybe 3 months, somewhere there, there'll be a list of people out of those 5,500-ish that haven't opened or clicked an email in, let's say, 2 months. Well, I don't want to keep sending them the newsletter because it costs me money to send. I know it sounds crazy. I spend $40 a month or so just on sending email, right? So this will allow me to stop sending to those people, and it'll greatly shrink it down. I'm going to guess after we do this process, it's probably 2,000 active people opening and clicking my emails, not 5,500. Those 3,500, we will do a couple things. We can do a one-off email to them individually, and this is the crazy thing with emails. I don't know if you know this. The recipient, like let's say Gmail or Outlook and stuff, they look at if you've sent this email to a bunch of other people or if it's just them. If it's just them, usually they actually dump it into your inbox instead of pushing it into spam, right? Now, if the respondent has flagged you as spam or put you into some folder, have some rules or something, we can't avoid that, right? But if we send it from Outlook to Fred, it greatly increases the likelihood we send them as one-offs that they will get it. So what I'll do is I'll create an offer for them of like, hey, get this cool new tool, or welcome, come back, or hey, you're going to get cut off because you haven't opened an email from us in several months. Click this email or open this email to make sure you stay in the list, and that will natively reactivate because I'm running this other tool to watch who's opened and clicked. That will pull them back into getting the newsletter, right? So I should have done this years ago, but it's going to be really cool because it'll be all automated, and it's just a matter of reactivating. The other one, which we can do, is take those email addresses of 3,500, because it's over 1,000. You need to have at least 1,000, like for Facebook targeting, and I can upload them as a custom audience in Facebook, and they don't even have to come to our website. They don't have to get an email from us. I can target them without them realizing I'm targeting them, and give, push a banner ad to them. I can also, because we paid to have a developer in WordPress on our website, if they happen to visit our website, we can actually detect who they are and just do a banner ad on the Autometer straight with our own, without even using Facebook. So really cool stuff that we're working on. If any of this stuff interests you and how we do it, I'm happy to tell you how we did, or we can implement it too for you if you like, if you're using a WordPress website. But yeah, very, very cool. OpenAI, OpenRouter. So here's this example one. Let me open the folder. I'm going to run this. So I demonstrate this. So let me just run it first. So imagine there are, and from here, this model list, let's open this one first. In this OpenRouter tool, there are, and I'll go to the top because it tells me, 318 different models they have access to, right? And here I had to append whether it's a text or a vision model. So, and I haven't implemented the vision side of this yet, but for text one, so see all these Claude 3, 3.5, 3.7, these are all from Anthropic, Claude. These are all different models. But let's say you wanted to use Anthropic, or I wanted to switch to DeepSeek, right? Well, I would have to write a whole new AutoHotkey class in order to go do that. So this tool, OpenRouter, allows us to go look, and we can test any model you're looking at here. I can switch to it in an instant and test it. So there's 300 and, well, what did it say at the top? 318, I thought it said. Oh, because there's some extra rows here, right? But very, very cool. So let me go back to the code. Now what I did, let me go over to, that's not the right one. Example, here we go. What I did was I built a script that says, hey, let's randomly try either Grok Mini 3, 4.0 Mini, Claude, Haiku model, Google Gemini, Mistral, DeepSeek, and let's see, where is it? Up here now, I pass it as a parameter to the function call. Here we go. So I say, tell me a fun fact about AutoHotkey. Keep the fact more than 300 but less than 600 characters, right? So this is going to loop 3 times. All right, so I'm going to click on run. So I'm going to click on run, and it's going to run this 3 times, checking using different models. There we go. So here's the first one from Grok Mini. Here's the next one from Mistral. It looks like another one went on the other screen, unfortunately. Let's see it. Let's have it keep going here. You know what? Let's do this. Let's make it, let's say, less than 300 characters, right? So I'm going to rerun this. Now they'll be much shorter responses. So that was from that ZAI GLM4. Then there's a response from Perplexity. And there should be a third one coming here. And each model, of course, they have different response times, right? So another one from Perplexity. So I'm going to launch it again. I could increase this to, 8 or whatever. But you understand, I'm switching between models and I'm asking questions too. This is crazy, crazy powerful, right? So really, really cool. Let me also show you if I log into here and go to this one. This is my history, which I just did now. This is 11 August. Oh, apparently takes a little while to show up here, because I just did this right now. Oh, why is it closed to? There we go. Okay, I don't know why that was filtered that way. Maybe it's part. Oh, it's part of my bookmark. Gotcha. Okay, I need to work on that. Changing the bookmark, but you get an idea of, like, these were the API, the endpoints, the models I used. I all went to the same endpoint. This OpenRouter tool, right? All of them went there. You can see the speed. So some of them, this one was took longer, nearly double the time of this one, right? DeepSeek, which of course, well, actually DeepSeek, the V3, if that's using the reasoning, some of them have reasoning attached, and then we also have the prices, right? So it's really easy to compare. But I'm connecting to these different models from one class, right? So this is really cool. And in this tool, if I come in here, I can set up, well, I got to go back. I can set up models that I want to, ignore, so never use those. I can set up a preferred model somewhere in there, the default provided sort, so you can change which ones get access first based off their price or latency or throughput, right? So that's really cool. Also, I can build in, there was one for changing, I can have the order I want to start here, then do this one, then do this one, which is really cool. So the OpenRouter only right now has the ability to do image to text and text to text processing, right? It doesn't allow for the audio files yet, but I assume they're working on that. Still phenomenally cool because, hey, we don't have to worry about our Claude class or our ChatGPT class or our Grok class, right? All we have to do is keep one model working. They're going to handle all the hard work, right? So this tool right now, I haven't shared this because this is all AI created. I had to create this OpenRouter, our OpenRouter class somewhere up here. It mentions it. Yeah. We did use, I think we used Geek Dude's JSON library, and we're using, of course, our Notify class to display the results. But in the coming weeks, we'll have this available. But then it's like you don't need to use the other ones, right? And it's just all the billings in one spot. So you can switch between whatever model you want, have one billing if you want. And they charge, I think it's 5.5%. If you buy $100, it'll cost you $5.50, right? To be able to have this functionality. That's so amazing. I can't tell you how excited that is for me because I like to play with these different models. And again, here are all these different models that I might want to say, well, how did this one do? How did that do? How did Gemini do? Let me try this Gemma. What about Llama from Meta, from Facebook, or Microsoft's models, or Mistral, like, NVIDIA stuff. I mean, it's just wild, right? There's Quinn, Perplexity. There was a new one. I guess I missed it. Kimmy is that ZAI. This is the other one that does really well. And some of their stuff they have that now they have. Some of these are open source. You can have them locally, but this allows you to play with it really quickly to see if you like it or not, right? Without downloading stuff from Hugging Face or putting it all up. You can get to play with them. I think that's just amazing. Our Raphidian library, Irfan, was having a person was telling me had some issues, so we were trying to get some more examples of how to use it. This is the Windows runtime stuff I was talking about, that at some point we'll be building a massive library, I'm sure, and using different stuff. We were playing with borrowing from the clipboard and things with it. Here's the simple file renamer. This tool, let me go ahead and launch it. So we have a V1 version, and now it's a little messed up, right? This case, this unchanged should be in here for the matter of the case, but you can, let me open the folder. We can drag in files, and this is one thing that Isaiah did during the hero call, is he made it where if you drag in a folder, if recursion is not on, it just gives you that folder. But if I turn on recursion and I drag it in, it gives you all the files underneath it and any of them underneath it. And then I can do, like, let's say my doc, and I want to place my doc with dog, cat, whatever, right? I can hit apply, and I can actually do this. It'll do it. You'll see. Oh, that's funny. I'll get rid of these bad IP addresses. So it renamed the files, but look at this. I can just hit undo. It's going to restore them. And here, it reverted them back. So this simple file renamer was a V1 script that we had initially borrowed from the multi-file renamer that was a really crazy, complicated V1 script. And I went to launch it. I knew there was a problem with our V2 version because I would tell it to do it, and it didn't always work. And so I said, let me see if AI can fix it. Well, I had forgotten our simple file renamer initially was a V1 script, and I think it was Claude said, hey, I see you're working with this, but I see it's a V1 script. I know you prefer V2. Let me convert it for you. So it did it. It actually had one little bug, and I fed it back to it using our error capture thing. And the second run, it actually launched and got rid of like probably 1,000 lines or something, right? It made it. Was it perfect? No, but it got it very, very close. And so, boy, Grok and Claude are both phenomenal at doing AutoHotkey V2 code. But we're now getting to a point where you can do almost anything you want and have AI help you and convert things really well. So yeah, very, very cool little tool. We haven't shared this one yet because I have a few more things I want to do. Obviously, we got to fix some alignment. And you can do regular expressions. We did test this a little, but we'll do some more testing on that. But yeah, very, very cool. This is that script where we check to get the last open and clicked. I can't run it because it's all everyone's email addresses. But it does pull in and show us, you know, it updates, and slowly we're building over time the list of people who've opened and clicked OBS. This one, actually, I just updated. Let me launch it. Oh, it is. Oh, it is running. Excuse me. Let me show it in OBS. I got confused because I didn't see it. Nope, not that one. Let me switch back to here. Yeah, that's part of the problem. So this Happy Sunday, this text is driven. Now, I'm going to hit you. I know you can't see this, but I'm not sure how I would show it otherwise. I'm going to say dog and hit enter. Now, you'll notice up here, this text changes, right? So let me switch back just so you get the idea, and then I'll show how it works. So if I hit a hotkey, I can normally before this tool I would hit reset day, and it would update it because sometimes the script doesn't monitor, it doesn't check every time you launch because I keep it running. I could have it restart every day, which would be weird, but it used to be when I hit reset day, it would have put in Sunday, but then I'd have to click over here and hit enter, and I hated that. So now when I hit reset day, it goes and does that. And then if we go into here, you'll see now it says Sunday, right? So that was one little tweak. But this banner, it's really cool in OBS. You just tell it you can have some text there. Then I can hit a hotkey during a call and say, this download is available here. And so I can easily put stuff up on the screen over my webcam, right, to show where they are. So it's a very cool concept. We use it a lot. All right, let me go back to here. Rizwan had an interesting idea. Well, he showed me an Excel macro tool that he had written that puts up options, kind of like a toolbar, and it's interacting with Excel. And I said, this, it's good, but personally, I just think most people just need to customize their toolbar, right? Because there's amazing stuff you can do in your custom toolbar. Let me show you. And I don't use Excel nearly. I used to use it all day, every day. Now I don't use it very often. But, not payroll. Let's go here. So this is the custom toolbar. But notice I have like a freeze panes. Usually I have a dedupe. But let's add it because I don't see dedupe in here. That's one I do like to have. So I'm going to say customize quick access toolbar. And if you know where it is, you can just go to that ribbon. Data is there we go, data tab. And somewhere in here, if you hit the first letter, and if you're lucky, remove duplicates. There we go. So I'm going to add that over to there. That's fine where it is. I can move it around. I can move it up. Let's say move it up. I'll put that down. This custom sort should be up next to the other sorts, right? So now I've updated my ribbon. So these are things, because a stupid ribbon changes, of course, whatever you're doing, it'll change on which one is active, and you have to go move around, and you have to figure out where they are. This doesn't. This is a constant. So I love putting the things I do a lot. So if I have text here, I can very quickly increase or decrease it. I can have a bunch of stuff and select it and just hit, sort ascending or descending. Incidentally, I don't know if you know this trick. Well, let me sort that one. No, don't. Oh, of course, they're all the same. So if you grab from here and hit sort, it sorts from the first column. But if I grab here and go this way, it will use this column to sort. So it's a quick, easy thing. A lot of people don't realize that. And as long as your data is continuous, it's really simple and easy to do. Yes, I can go to data and add the filters, and do it this way. But often that's just a quick, simple, and this custom select, I think that's why I added that one, because I do end up doing that a lot. But boy, when you have continuous data, it's a great little trick to be able to do that. All right, that's our webcam reminder. I don't remember making changes to that. Oh, I must have changed. Yeah, I needed to change the. Let's. Oops, that launched it. Let me go edit it. Oh, I guess I can open the folder. No, here we go. Edit. And I'm going to change it so it's just little, the height isn't quite so tall. Where is the height? Oh, width, height, edit with height, with height. Search is your friend. Oh, here we go. Height 270, I'm going to say 265. And let's go ahead and, I got to move it, but I'll relaunch it. It'll move it back to where it was. Now you can't see it perfect because that doesn't change. And what I probably should do is actually move it down a bit so I can have that run button. I know you can't see it here. Let me move this. So I'll move my webcam. Now you can see it there, right? But I do want to be able to hit that run button. So what I probably should do is have it start here. So I'll move the location down a bit and then shrink the height to however many characters down I move it. It looks like I probably moved it down like 20. With height, yeah, where's the start? Anyway, so I'll do that later. But this is a great little thing because I can make notes here if I want to. And you again with my webcam, let me go back to OBS. Hey, wrong thing. There we go. It put me up here, and maybe I should even have my webcam like that as well. So that way you can see, I don't have to move it if I need to press this button. And that way you can see what I'm doing, right? But yeah, so this webcam reminder, I love it. If you make videos at all, it's a must-have, because this kind of concept thing is a must-have. All right, window snipping tool, we made updates? No, boy, I don't think we made any updates, but, oh, I know, I moved it. Someone from somewhere in Africa, I think, wrote me, and they wanted to use... They're on a really big project, and they love the AI OCR tool, but they said $5 for them is a lot of money, which I understand. So I said, well, why don't you use the window snipping tool? Because the window snipping tool, while it's not perfect, it has a hotkey. I think, if I can remember it. Yeah, this is our window snipping tool, but I'm using a hotkey to do OCR. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry, wrong hotkey. So there we go. Let's try this one. There we go. But notice how it grabbed this column and then this column. And that's what I was trying to tell them. This is built into Windows. It does OCR, but it's horrible on detecting like data. Now, in our OCR tool, I think it's running. Yeah. If I do this, it is built in a way to try to understand if you have table data. And our OCR tool with the table data, often... This will actually, now if it isn't a list, what? That was weird. We had a bug there. But you see how we have columns, and I can actually sort on the columns. It's completely independent now of the way we want it, right? So I don't know, that's weird. I've never seen that. I'll have to mention this to Irfan in this video. He's the one who did a lot of work in this tool. Let's go back and forth again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe because my DPI here, because I love having this hotkey for DPI. Now I'd have to restart this tool. Let me go to the system tray and restart that tool. It'll come up and here's my hotkeys. And then let me do this one, because this is a great thing to figure out. Yeah, so now see it now loaded properly. It's because it had some sort of weird thing that the DPI was different. And maybe it was because I changed the DPI. What I should have done was restarted the tool. So, okay, let's do this again. I'm going to change my DPI back to a higher DPI. And then I'm going to restart that tool again, because the tool might work fine. The problem is when we haven't built in a way yet for tools like this to monitor that your DPI changes. Let me relaunch it from here. But I'm curious if, so I'm relaunching it now at this set DPI, and hopefully when I do this, this actually renders properly. Because I know we control for this kind of stuff in our GUIs. This is the great thing about having guys that understand GUIs. They build these kind of things in there. There we go. Now see how that looks great. It's the fact that I had, after the script had launched, I changed my DPI. And what we need to see is if there is a shell hook or something that would monitor that your DPI has changed, and then know to go update scripts to tell them to adjust for that, right? Or to actively go pull it, but that might take more time than it's worth. Anyway, so that's that. Media capture. Well, this is the Windows Runtime stuff that Isaias is working on. Again, lots of really, really cool stuff in there. So we'll save that part for a later day. As fascinating, as cool as it is, it's and what's really cool is it's using OOP, object-oriented languaging programming, and it's really easy to use. But to build the method for using it, the class to wrap it to use it, that's where Isaias or Irfan are going to have to be doing that. I'm okay at that. I can use classes, but I don't write them myself. And so I know AI actually would probably do it as well. But yeah, it's not something I'm well versed in of like developing the class itself and doing that. That's why I hire guys like them. So hope you enjoyed that. Please like the video if you learned something here. If there's an area of interest that you want to learn more about, let me know. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. Consider joining that hero group. I know I talk about a lot, and it's it's $1.99 for the first month to try it out, and I highly recommend you try it and attend the things. We also have a Telegram group where people chat in, but it's well worth. I think it's $15.99 after that, but it's hours of availability where you can ask us questions and save an insane amount of time. So hope you enjoyed that. Cheers.